Hi there, my name's Vince from mymadevince.com, and in this video today is the quick version of trying to fix this Simon Air. So this was bought from eBay from a guy called Gordon. He watches the channel, and I spent £4.90 on it. So it was an auction, nobody bid on it, I just offered £1 and it cost £3.90 to post. So I got it in total for £4.90. And basically Gordon said that it doesn't make any sounds. He wasn't sure whether there's like a hidden mute feature. I looked up online and there is a hidden mute feature, but it's not working. Weird thing is, when I was messing around with it, sound did work on one occasion, but now it's completely dead again. So if you watch this now, if I turn it on here, you can see the lights are moving, but look, there's no sound happening. Yeah? And if I... Apparently to do the different sounds, you have to keep hitting this button. And then it will do, go from loud to quiet and then to off. But it's not doing anything. But it did work once, which is really, really strange because I thought it might be a broken wire. So it's definitely not a broken wire unless it's a loose connection. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop the batteries out, take it apart and see if we can find out what is wrong with it. Now I've measured the batteries, they're all measuring 1.5 volts, so the batteries are definitely okay. Right, so, excellent. Right, so that all comes apart there. Now what do we have this here? Why do we have this one loose here? What does that do? Oh, there's a reset button at the back here. It'll reset there. So you press this in and then it must force itself onto this button here. I wonder whether it just needs some sort of reset. Right, let's have a look around the place. So we have a speaker here. Both wires are attached to it. Yeah. This is one of the sensors. We definitely know the lights are working. Sensor here to measure your hand going through. And there's a little board here. Looks a very simple board. Let's have a look on the other side. Right, so we've got a switch there, on and off here. We've got a little chip, which is one of those blob chips. We're not going to be able to do anything. Let's zoom right in. That's that side there, and this is this side here. So switch, button. Yeah, so I haven't got access to that chip because there's a chip under there, and it's just like a cheap way of doing it. They just put that over it. Well, there's definitely no corrosion, no battery leakage, doesn't look like any water damage. I can see flux and stuff along. I can see marks along here, but that just looks like flux residue. I cannot see anything wrong with it whatsoever. Right, so I suppose we just have to start doing elimination. You know what, because it's kind of so basic, I'm actually worried about getting this working. I'm thinking if it could be a problem with the chip. Because why did it work even when I shook it? Why did the sound keep working if it was just a loose wire? So I suppose what I need to do to begin with is check the speaker. So this is a 16 ohm 0.25 watt speaker. But really I could put any speaker in there, couldn't I? Just to see if it's going to do anything. Any small speaker. So let me... Trying to think where I would have an old speaker. Let me have a look around the place for a little speaker. Okay, so I've got a speaker. I'm not going to tell you what it's from because otherwise it will give away a video that I did about a month ago but I still haven't released. So let's get this working again, and what I'm going to do is I'm not going to unsolder this speaker yet. Let's just pop this speaker on here and see if we get anything. Listen to that. Result. So what does that tell you? That tells you that this speaker probably isn't working. Let's unsolder it and see. Oh, here we go. There you go. It's a bad speaker. I wonder, let's zoom right in and see if we can see why it's coming and going. At least we know what the problem is now, 100% the speaker. Let's zoom right in. see the problem, the wires are broken. Yeah, the wires are broken here, and then by me just tapping it, it was putting the wires together. Let's see if I can zoom right in. Right, so here you have it here. Now, obviously I've probably made it much worse, but look, I didn't actually take this part off. Can you see that there's a tiny little kind of air bubbly thing going on here? And look, that's not, it hasn't gone through, and I haven't pierced it there. I didn't put my tweezers anywhere near there. But if you look around this section here, when I turn it upside down, or when I put it inside out or whatever, have a look. Can you see there? There's a break here. The wires are, yeah, they're broken. It's weird for both of them to break. What happened there? Let me have a close look with the eye loop. Right, so it looks like there's two wires. I wonder if there's any way, there's no way I'll be able to solder them back on, they're tiny. I think I'm going to have to look for a replacement speaker. I wonder if the speaker I've got will work. Would be nice to get this one working though, wouldn't it? Now that I've found the problem. Right, looks like my soldering iron's up to temperature, so I'm just going to first of all try to heat this, see if I can get anything off. There you go, I think that came off. That might be it, you know. I'm just going to try to tin up this tiny, tiny wire. And I'm just going to try to heat up the tiny wire that goes onto here. Let me zoom right in. Right, okay, let's see what's going to happen now. Let's see how badly this ends. Right, I think I've tinned one of them, or I've certainly burnt the copper off the enamel off the ends. Let's do the same on this one here now. Yeah, okay, I can definitely see that it's gone to silver rather than gold. Now let's see if I can get my wire on. Amazingly, it kind of went on. Now I've got to snip this, let's give it plenty of slack, and now I'm going to try to tin the ends of this off my magnet wire as well. Just doing it off camera to save myself zooming out. Right, okay, I think I've tinned it. Now let's try to get this one on the other one. Well, it's on. I don't know how well it's on. It's amazing how dirty my soldering iron looks as well when I look up close. Right, this is on, but it's at a bit of an angle, but it might not make a difference. Let's chop it. I wonder is that going to hold or not. Wow, okay, I don't know. Now, I think I'm going to put just a tiny, tiny little bit of tape on there, or no, let me use some UV pen. I think that would be a better idea. Let me get my little UV light pen, the plastic welding thing. Right, so you know the pen that I normally use. Let's see if we can put a little bit of Right, okay, now I'm just going to try to set it. You can see that I put a little dollop on each of them against the plastic. Right, okay, yeah, there you go. Once I scraped it back properly, it's still reading 15 ohms. So that's good. So now what we have to do is, we have to bend the wires round and try to solder them onto the pads here. So I think I'll zoom in for this bit. Let's see whether I can just burn off the coating with my soldering iron. I think I can, so now I'm going to add solder to it. Right, okay, that's covered. Now let's see if I can burn off this other one. Okay, so you can see it there. One's going to that one, the other one's going to that one. Now let me zoom out. And watch this. Look, straight on the pads. Let's actually go on the ones where I'm going to be soldering onto, the outer ones. 15 ohms, how good is that? Now remember, I don't know if it's going to work as a speaker or not, because although I've got the wires connected, I've messed around with that coil of wire. So just because it's measuring the right resistance, it doesn't actually mean that it's going to work or not. So now let's solder it back on. Imagine if this did work, that would be one of my favourite, I think it'd be one of my favourite fixes. Now it shouldn't matter which wire goes where. My soldering iron keeps sticking to the big magnet in the middle. Do you know, I'm happy I've learnt about speakers today. Right, what do you reckon? Yes or no? I think yes. So now let's see if it's going to make this noise. Brilliant! Did you hear that? Let's see if we can make it any louder. Right, that's the loudest. That will do me. Turn it round. Oh! That sounds alright, doesn't it? It sounds alright. I am going to run with that. If when I put it together it still works, although it's not the best sounding speaker, to me it will be one of the best sounding speakers because I fixed it. I'm going to be super gentle with it now. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down what this speaker is here. So then, let's say if it fails later on in the week, I'm just going to buy one off eBay. Oh, look how loud that is. Wow. Right, okay. Check that out. How good is that? What an amazing fix. I'm so happy with that one. Do you know what? I think that goes down. I think it goes down as one of my favourite fixes of all time. I'm being serious. The reason it worked when I pressed it in is because the plastic was bending and touching the wire. Maybe originally only one wire was broken. So it was like this, and then you shake it and it touched, and that's why it intermittently worked once. Then when I bent the speaker in, it was doing that and touching all the time. But now I'm confident that that is actually going to be a lasting repair unless this gets dropped and kicked around the place. I think it's going to work because I soldered it, and those wires are not going to be under any real strain. You've seen the way I wrapped them round and stuff. They're not going to short against each other because that's the whole point of this wire. It's got an enamel on it. So, like magnet wire or wire around a transformer, it doesn't short around it. It doesn't short on itself. So, yeah, really, really happy with that. Really, really happy with it. Now, if you're watching the short video, that's going to be finished now. So, thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos.